Welcome to this companion video to part 2 of building your freight car fleet on a budget, and as always, thanks to my channel subscribers. In this video, I will show you how I assembled these two box cars. I am using Kadee kit number 4100, which is an undecorated 40-foot PS1 box car with 6-foot wide doors. The kit contains a one-piece body, a metal floor, a one-piece train line with attached air hoses and coupler cut levers, a rooftop running board complete with corner hand grabs, a one-piece underframe with brake details, sliding Youngstown doors, 2 separate ladder sprues, 2 separate hand grab sprues, a brake platform, a retainer valve, and an Ajax assembly, a pair of Kadee number 562 trucks, and 2 coupler car end assemblies. Be sure you have a very good pair of tweezer-style sprue cutters and a good pair of fine-tip tweezers before you start assembly. You will need the sprue cutters to cut the ladders and hand grabs from their respective sprues, and you will need the tweezers to position and install the small detail parts. I started assembly by installing the retainer valve and standpipe into the 3 pre-drilled holes on the B end of the car. I found it easiest to insert the center pin first, then the lower pin, and the retainer valve last. Once all pins were in position, I pressed each one carefully until they were all secure and the standpipe was straight. Next, I cut the end ladders from their sprue using my sprue cutters and positioned the pins in the holes on the car ends. Once all the pins were in position, I applied gentle pressure on the entire ladder to fully seat it in position. Then I installed the side ladders in the same manner. Then I installed the hand grabs, first on the ends of the car, and then on the sides of the car. This can be incredibly frustrating. The parts are very light and very springy, and it is difficult to fit all of the pins in their holes. I finally settled on the following method. I enlarged the holes on one end of each grab with a number 74 drill. Then I slipped the 2 pins into the enlarged holes and held that end of the grab in place with light pressure while I teased the other 2 pins in position. Once all 4 pins were in place, I gently pressed the part firmly in place. I had applied a dab of glue to the backs of the enlarged holes to help hold the part in place. After you have inserted the lower hand grabs, be sure to trim the pins flush with the inside of the car body. If you do not, these pins will interfere with the installation of the car body. With all of the hand grabs installed, I installed the running board. Be careful here. The running board is not symmetrical. If you look closely, you'll see that the pins on the underside of the main running board all have a notch on the same side. Hold the car body with the B end facing you, and hold the running board with those notches facing to your right, and begin inserting the pins into the holes in the car roof. As you press the pins in place, hook the end supports over the car end and place their mounting pins into their holes. Once the supports are in place, you can firmly press each pin in place. You'll hear a click as each pin snaps into position. Next, I primed and painted the car body. I painted one car using the last of my hoarded scale coat boxcar red, and I painted the other car using True Color Gloss Oxide Brown. Applying decals follows the same process I described in my video assembling an Accurail boxcar kit, so see that video for details. When the decals were completely dry, I sealed the car body with my favorite clear matte lacquer. While the primer and paint was curing on the car body, I worked on the underframe. I started by slipping the coupler assemblies onto the end tabs of the cast metal floor. You'll need to apply firm pressure on the underside center of the assembly to allow the assembly to slide all the way onto the tabs. Do not apply pressure to the couplers. Once the assembly is in place, you may have to press the outside ends of the assembly around the edges of the floor to seat the stirrup steps. Next, I inserted the train line into the underframe assembly. Notice that there are slots in the tops of the bolsters and the door crossbearers. The train line passes through these slots and it runs below the remaining cross bases. Also notice the slight bulge in the train line. That bulge should be next to the AB valve once the train line is in position. Thread the train line through the gap between the AB valve air piping and the cross member until the bulge is close to the AB valve. Then rotate the part to fit it into the slots in the center sill. Then carefully weave the A end of the train line above the bolster and weave the B end below the two B end cross members and above the bolster. Press the train line all the way into the slots in the bolsters and the door crossbearers. The underframe is held in position on the floor by the trucks. Since I wasn't ready to install the trucks yet, I used two number 2x56 screws to temporarily hold the underframe in place. With the underframe secure, I hooked the two tabs at the ends of the train line into the slots in the metal floor. Since the doors on this car are intended to slide open and closed, I decided to paint the interior floor. I primed using a brush-on primer. Then I applied thin washes of medium gray, dark gray, and light tan to give the appearance of a wood floor. I gave the finished underframe a spray of clear matte lacquer to eliminate the plastic shine. If you do this, be sure to protect the couplers from the spray. I painted the supplied trucks using the method described in my video, Painting and Weathering Freight Car Trucks. I had to disassemble the trucks to paint them. Notice that I have used masking tape to keep the paint out of the axle pockets. I painted the brake assemblies separately. Once the paint was dry on all the parts, I reassembled the side frames and weathered the assembly. When the weathering was dry, I removed the masking tape from the axle pockets and installed the trucks. Since Kadee's trucks have a matte black finish, there is no need to paint the wheels. With the underframe complete and the car body painted and lettered, it's time to complete the assembly. The first step is to snap the underframe into the car body, making sure that the brake cylinder points toward the B end of the car. Also, be sure the tabs holding the train line in place are secure in their notches on the underframe. They cannot be inserted after the car body is in place. Next, install the brake tab by inserting the tab into the hole in the bolster and rotating the part to keep the tab from coming out of the hole. Then insert the square tab on the bell crank into the notch between the underframe and the car body. Give the brake staff a quarter twist to align the Ajax and brake wheel. Then press the tab in the back of the Ajax into the rectangular slot. Insert the pin on the brake staff into its hole. Insert the pins on the brake platform into their holes and press the platform into place until the braces touch the car end. Secure the coupler cut levers by wrapping them underneath the coupler pocket and inserting the pin into the hole drilled in the car body. I enlarged this hole with my number 74 drill bit to allow the pin to fit more easily. Finally, insert the doors in the door openings as shown. Then rotate them into position, making sure the bottom tab engages with the bottom edge of the door opening. You can then position the doors according to your preference. All that remains is to install the trucks and place your car in service. In the description below this video, you'll find links to many of the products and tools I've mentioned. I love to read your comments and to respond to your questions. If you want to see more videos of this type, be sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.